Diabetes is a lifelong disease. It is a metabolic disorder characterized by high levels of sugar in the blood, or also known as hyperglycemia. This disease is due to the insulin deficiency or insulin resistance. In order for our body to function properly, the sugar levels in our body must be regulated. The organ pancreas secretes hormone insulin, which ensures the balanced sugar level in the body. When the pancreas secretes little to no sugar, the body develops a condition called type 1 diabetes. As more and more carbohydrate-rich food arise, another type of diabetes, type 2, is becoming more common. The sedentary lifestyle and habits are also becoming rampant nowadays. Due to this, the pancreas tend to produce more insulin to offset the sugar in the blood. In the attempt of the cell to regulate the intake of sugar, the cell's receptor develop a resistance, this allowing the sugar to enter the cell. For us to further understand what it's like to have this disease, a mother from St. Catherine Hospital suffering from diabetes had shared to us her experiences having this disease.
What was your reaction when you had diabetes?
I was shocked and I couldn't believe it because no one has diabetes in my family line.
Has your lifestyle changed before you were diagnosed with diabetes?
I was living a normal life just like any other person. But as time went on, I started feeling tired, mostly during the day when I'm expected to be active. During that time, I would drink a lot of water because I was feeling very thirsty. So that led to me peeing a lot. But beside that, I did not have any other signs.
Was there any change in you after you were diagnosed with diabetes?
A lot of things really changed in my life, including my diet, because I almost switched everything I was eating. I stopped eating anything fried, anything sweetened, all the soft drinks, all the cakes, the candies, the chocolate, and I started eating only boiled foods, fresh fruits and vegetables, nuts, a lot of fiber, cucumbers, broccoli, and carrots. And the only oil I'm left with to be using is olive oil.
Did this affect your work or your studies in your life?
Since I have a fixed insulin regime and regular meal times, it's always tiresome for me because I have to check my glucose levels before I eat each day, and I have to take a certain portion of food so that I don't go overboard on my insulin.
Did you feel anything like symptoms or signs on your body that you noticed recently after you were diagnosed with diabetes?
The only complications I have so far are the measurements of my daily insulin and the sugar levels. Then I only eat when I'm hungry and I'm limited to a certain portion of food.
In just a few decades, the number of patients diagnosed with diabetes rapidly increased from 50 million to 450 million worldwide, having type 2 diabetes more prevalent with about 90%. This disease is also common in older adults, affecting 33% of people aged 65 and older. To understand their burden, we interview a 70-year-old diabetic patient.
What was your reaction when you had diabetes?
When I was diagnosed with diabetes at such an old age, I was very anxious and tense about how I was supposed to lead my life with this.
Has your lifestyle changed before you were diagnosed with diabetes?
Before diabetes, my lifestyle was very carefree and I liked walking and I ate whatever I wanted.
Was there any change in you after you were diagnosed with diabetes?
After getting diagnosed with this disease, I had to completely change my lifestyle, especially in terms of my diet. I started taking food in short intervals and started exercising.
Did you feel anything like symptoms, signs on your body that you noticed recently after you were diagnosed with diabetes?
The clinical symptoms mainly included neck pain, weakness, and sometimes feeling uneasy when walking.
Did this affect your work or your studies in your life?
Diabetes mainly affected my work. I am unable to work as efficiently. I find it hard to concentrate when studying. and in general, it has disturbed my routine.
What are you taking currently? What medications are you taking right now?
The pills that I use currently for diabetes is metformin tablets.
Do you have money problems or financial issue in buying these anti-diabetic medications?
Getting diagnosed with diabetes has definitely increased the financial expenses. Now I have to invest money in medical tests, medicines, diet, etc.
Unfortunately, diabetes does not only affect the adults, but the kids as well. Here, Sophie will tell us what life looks like having a diabetes from a child's perspective.
What was your reaction when you had diabetes?
I don't know. I didn't know what diabetes was, so I asked my mom about it, and she said I couldn't eat as many sweets anymore. So I was a little upset about that. Other than that, I really don't know why I should be so concerned. Everyone else seems so concerned about this, and I'm beginning to get a little nervous.
Has your lifestyle changed before you were diagnosed with diabetes?
Before I went to the doctor who told us these things, I used to eat all kinds of food and candy. My parents didn't even bother me about number of times I eat. Though I still felt very hungry and thirsty often, and I felt tired as well. That's when my parents took me to the doctor.
Was there any change in you after you were diagnosed with diabetes?
After the doctor's appointment, I had to eat a lot more vegetables, and my parents made me drink a lot of water. They also made me eat less candies and fast food. I have to take lots of medicines now, and they make me do a little exercise now and then. I'm still getting used to all these changes. I feel it was more fun before my doctor's visit.
Did you feel anything like symptoms, signs on your body that you noticed recently after you were diagnosed with diabetes?
I used to have headaches and my eyes became a bit blurry now and then. I always wake up a lot to go to the bathroom during nights, and during the day I'm always hungry and I feel very thirsty. Mommy says I also started losing weight and looked skinnier.
Did this affect your work or your studies in your life?
It made it so that I couldn't attend school properly and I had to take some days off because of fatigue. The days I didn't feel tired, I found it hard to focus during class, and sometimes I couldn't see the board properly, and so I had to change to the front seat. Now teacher always calls me first while asking questions. She even catches me more often eating snack during class. Now that I'm sitting in front and scolds me, but I feel so hungry so often I couldn't help it. Because I already told you all the complications.
What are you taking currently? What medications are you taking right now?
I don't know much about that because they tell me all these complicated names. I just take the meds that are given and I get a painful shot a few times before I eat. It's very uncomfortable. But if I run, mom catches me and injects my butt.
Do you have money problems or financial issue in buying these anti-diabetic medications?
Mommy says it costs a lot of money, so I have to take my medicines diligently.
There are a number of treatments available to help diabetic patients treat diabetes. These treatment varies according to the patient's needs. If a patient has type 1 diabetes, taking up insulin is necessary. The insulin can be taken using injection or pump. In cases of type 2 diabetic patient, they may also choose to use insulin or tablets, but they can also treat the disease by changing their lifestyle, such as incorporating healthy diet and having regular exercise. People that have type 1 diabetes and some with type 2 diabetes need to take insulin to manage their plasma glucose level. For people with type 1 diabetes, the treatment includes insulin shot and islet cell transplant. Insulin shots are commonly administered using syringe, but options such as pens and pumps are also available. Some rapid-acting insulin includes insulin Lispro and insulin aspart, while the short-acting insulins are regular Novolin and regular Homolin. Insulin pump can be good alternative to injecting. With the pump, you will be able to have a flexibility when it comes to managing your diabetes. Treatments for people with type 2 diabetes includes tablets and medication, insulin, weight loss surgery, diet, and exercise. For type 2 diabetic person, tablets and medication may help manage their blood sugar level. Metformin is the most common tablet. Other tablets includes chlorpheniramine and glimepiride. Tablets such as sulfonylureas stimulate the pancreas to produce insulin, while others help the patients lose weight. Lifestyle has been proven to be an effective way of preventing and treating not just diabetes but other diseases as well. Unfortunately, most of the people's misconception is that it won't work, so they are not doing it. If only people would develop a more healthy habit, then we could save a lot of money from this area.